"Daddy, please marry the movie queen." I never expected to be publicly proposed to by my 6-year-old daughter, especially not on live television. And certainly not with the entire nation watching. "Dad," Chloe said sweetly, turning to face the camera. "Please change your wife. I want the movie queen to be my new mom." The studio went dead silent before erupting into laughter and shocked gasps. The audience, the crew, even the director, were too stunned to speak. Then came the most surprising part. Ava Reynolds, the reigning queen of the silver screen, actually smiled and agreed. But before anyone could even process what was happening, my ex-wife stormed onto the set, yelling and demanding answers. Chloe, ever the fearless firecracker, grabbed Ava's hand and proudly announced, "Let me introduce you. This is your husband's new wife, my new mom. My name is Ethan Brooks, and I'm what the internet calls a professional villain. Not in real life, at least. I hope not, but I've built my entire acting career playing heartless supporting characters who always get what's coming to them in the end. The roles have made me famous, but not exactly loved. Some people genuinely believe I'm just playing myself." Lately, though, scripts for villain roles have dried up, and I've had some unexpected free time. That's how I ended up joining a new parenting variety show called Star Baby with my daughter, Chloe. We thought it'd be a quiet, wholesome break from the drama of Hollywood. Clearly, we were wrong. The day filming began. I was still fast asleep when Chloe came bouncing into the room. "This lazy gentleman," she declared, hands on her tiny hips. "The crew is here. Please let the bed release you." "Oh noble one." Eyes still shut, I groaned. "Dad's too noble to wake up. Pack up for me first, will you?" She sighed like a tired old soul. What kind of dad makes his kid pack for him? Who's the adult here? Still, she opened the suitcase with small, practiced hands and asked, "What do you need me to take?" Half an hour later, I finally dragged myself out of bed, only to find the entire production team standing right there, and the livestream already rolling. I blinked in confusion as the on-screen comments flooded in. "Ethan Brooks is letting his daughter pack? What kind of dad is this? Okay, but Chloe is insanely cute. I forgot I came here to hate him." I turned to Chloe in disbelief. "Why didn't anyone tell me we were live?" She puffed her chubby cheeks and said, "I did, but you were glued to the bed. Who can I blame? This little cotton-padded jacket of mine really has some sharp edges." After scrambling to wash up and pack, I followed Chloe into the production van. On the way to the villa, Emily Turner, the assistant director, began her interview. "Mr. Brooks, what's your daughter's name?" "Just call her Chloe." Emily tilted her head. "Chloe? Like the cartoon cheetah?" Chloe rolled her eyes. "He thinks all boys like Chloe the cheetah, so he named me after her." I ruffled her fluffy hair. "Believe in your dad. There's not a boy alive who doesn't like Chloe the cheetah." She sighed. "I am so impressed by you." The livestream chat exploded with laughter. Ethan Brooks really named his kid after a cartoon? Tears of joy. Next time name her Jenny Lion or Jessica Bear. This man is unhinged, and I love it. Emily turned serious again. "Chloe, where's your mom?" Chloe's smile vanished. With a firm little voice, she said, "Don't mention her. I get mad when I think about her." Her tone caught even me off guard. Years ago, when I entered the industry, I announced I was married, but never said to whom. Fans, haters, and tabloids speculated for years, especially since my shows kept hitting big despite me being just a supporting actor. But the truth is, I barely knew my wife anymore. After we got married, she wanted no part in raising a child. Chloe was born after a drunken mistake. Since then, her mom's visits had been rare, fleeting moments. Usually just long enough to snap a picture and leave. So when Chloe brushed off the topic of her mom, I couldn't blame her. She'd practically been raised by a single dad with a villain complex and a love for cartoons. Star Baby wasn't your typical parenting show. It paired real celebrity dads, or moms, with their kids, or sometimes with random child actors, to test their parenting skills in chaotic settings. But the real draw this time wasn't me. It was the headline guest, Ava Reynolds, Hollywood's golden girl. When Chloe and I arrived at the villa, Ava was already there, sitting elegantly with Zoe Parker, a precocious 5-year-old star. The moment Chloe spotted Ava, she dropped her backpack and bolted straight for her. She plopped onto the couch beside her, cupped her cheeks with her hands, and stared in awe. "I know you. You're the movie queen." Ava laughed, eyes twinkling. "How do you know me, sweetheart?" Before I could stop her, Chloe blurted out, "Because I want you to be my mom." I nearly choked. Chloe had been saying that for weeks at home, watching Ava's interviews, her red carpet walks, and even her emotional acceptance speeches. She said Ava looked kind, warm, loving, the kind of mom who would stay. She didn't just want Ava as her mom. She wanted me to marry her. "Dad, why can't she be my mom?" I never told my daughter the truth, that Ava Reynolds was actually my ex-girlfriend. But what completely caught me off guard was when she turned to Ava, right in front of her, and asked, "Will you be my mom?" The live broadcast went absolutely wild. "Oh my God, Chloe is too cute." Before Ava could say a word, Chloe had already clung to her arm and spun around to face me. "Dad, she's beautiful and has such a gentle voice. Can't she be my mom?" My heart nearly stopped. Ava looked stunned, understandably. I doubt she ever expected her ex-boyfriend's daughter to latch onto her like that. But keeping her composure, she smiled gently and said, "Sweetheart, I can only be your mom if your dad says yes." "Wait, what?" Before I could even process Ava's response, Chloe declared loud and clear, "Dad, marry the movie queen. I want her to be my mom, not just your daughter anymore." The chat exploded. Did she seriously just say that? Actual mom? She's pushing for it hard. Chloe dashed over to me on those tiny, determined legs and tugged at my sleeve. "Dad, I'm serious. Look at her. She's beautiful and talented. Okay, maybe not as pretty as mom, but close." She looked up at me with those pleading eyes. "Just swap wives for yourself, and moms for me. 2 birds, 1 stone. Isn't that smart?" Dangerous. That's what it was. Extremely dangerous. "Chloe," I muttered under my breath, "do you want to get me killed?" Sure, these were things you think, but you don't say them out loud. Not on a live stream. Chloe's a legend. I'm changing my own mom next week. As soon as she says yes, it's official. 10 minutes later, the next group of guests arrived. Claire Mitchell, a rising second-tier actress with strong industry backing, and child star Ella Foster, age 4. All 3 families had now checked in. The production team quickly introduced us all. Live shows move fast. Director Andrew Clark jumped in and explained the first task: answer questions to earn ingredients for lunch and dinner. The more correct answers, the better the rewards. 20 questions total. First group to press the buzzer and answer correctly scores. A wrong answer gives the others a chance. Each group received a small buzzer. The quiz kicked off. What are the names of the 2 monkeys in Boonie Bears? King and Mao. What's Big Big in Pleasant Goat and Big Big Wolf? Little Wolf. It was a cartoon knowledge showdown. The 3 kids battled fiercely, each trying to outdo the other. Finally, the last question. Who is SpongeBob's best friend? Chloe's eyes sparkled. She shot her hand toward the buzzer. But Zoe Parker, another child star, beat her to it. Zoe paused, squinting in thought, then hesitantly said, "Patrick?" Before anyone could react, Chloe leapt up and practically shouted, "Patrick? No way. It's obviously my bikini bottom crush, Squidward. He's cool, calm, and classy." She stood there, fiery and fierce, like a tiny warrior defending her beloved sea god. The entire set fell silent. Then I couldn't help it, I cracked up. The laughter was contagious. One by one, everyone started giggling. The livestream chat went insane. Why is everyone laughing? That's her sea god. Respect the squid. Honestly, she's not wrong. Stop laughing and give her the crown. Chloe shot a glare at the crew. What are you all laughing at? Director Clark struggled to hold a straight face. We're laughing because Chloe is amazing. And she might be right. No one could keep a straight face anymore. Laughter filled the room. After everyone calmed down, Director Clark read the final results. Chloe answered 8 questions correctly. Zoe and Ella each got 6. To break the tie, one more question was added. Final rankings. Chloe first. Zoe second. Ella third. Room assignments followed. Chloe and I were on the 4th floor. Zoe and Ava on the 3rd. And Claire and Ella on the 2nd. Next came check-in, unpacking, and prepping for lunch. Chloe had no intention of helping unpack or cook. Instead, she grabbed a stash of snacks and vanished. As I tidied our room and pulled out the cookbook I'd packed, 100 home-cooked meals for dads who can't cook, Chloe burst back in. Dad, stop reading that useless recipe book. Follow me. She dragged me straight to the 3rd floor. Only then did I realize what she was up to. She knew I was hopeless in the kitchen. So she had convinced Ava to cook for us. 2 extra meals, just like that. And honestly, Ava's cooking was really good. But Chloe? She kept calling her new mom. I turned to her. Chloe, what are you calling her? She blinked at me with those big, innocent eyes and said sweetly, Dad, the movie queen agreed to be my mom. So she's my new mom now. I found you a wife who can act, cook, and loves me. You should thank me. I choked mid-bite, staring at her in disbelief. Who else's daughter tries to replace her mom on live television with her dad's ex-girlfriend? In the world of parenting, some secrets are best left untouched, but when love and the spotlight collide, even the past can't stay buried. This is quite explosive in the whole father-daughter world. At that moment, a pleasant chuckle rang out, and I turned to look at Ava Reynolds. Did you agree? I asked. Being Chloe's mother? It seems like that's the case, she replied with a smirk. I was speechless. What the hell? Did she forget that she was my ex-girlfriend? The next second, my mouth was faster than my brain, and the words slipped out before I could stop them. No, did you forget that you were my ex-girlfriend? I didn't forget, she said, raising an eyebrow. That's why I thought it was interesting to be the mother of my ex-boyfriend's daughter. I'd said it without thinking, just blurted it out. That she was my ex. And then, like clockwork, the live broadcast room exploded. Ava Reynolds was actually Ethan Brooks's ex-girlfriend. The two of them had dated before. Oh my God, I just wanted to say that the queen of film had a different vibe around Ethan Brooks, and I wanted to secretly ship them. But now they're telling us they used to date? I'm inexplicably excited. What is happening right now? Dear netizens, shipping everyone and everything will only lead to heartbreak. At that moment, Chloe looked at me and, out of nowhere, said, Dad, is there a possibility that my mother is actually your ex-girlfriend? I almost spit out my drink. I stood up instinctively and blurted out, there is no such possibility. Eat your food. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll take away your snacks and no TV for you. I was going insane. It had only been half a day since the live broadcast began. And this silly girl had already dropped so many bombshells. Was she really not afraid of her biological mother seeing this? I quietly slipped out of frame and followed director Andrew Clark. Using his phone, I checked the hot searches. And the moment I saw them, my eyes went dark. 2 trending headlines stared back at me. Ethan Brooks's daughter changed her mother in the variety show. And Ava Reynolds is Ethan Brooks's ex-girlfriend. The internet had officially exploded. There was no way Chloe's biological mother could ignore this. Sure enough, Chloe's mom, Lauren Bennett, stormed into the production team not long after. After the kids took a nap, we had headed outside with the crew to film a segment making handicrafts with the children. Those crafts were to be raffled off to lucky viewers during the livestream. When we returned, we saw a woman sitting calmly on the living room sofa. She was striking, poised and naturally beautiful. She didn't need heavy makeup to command attention. Her bone structure was elegant and refined. and her high-end dress gave her an aura of quiet authority. That woman was Lauren Bennett, Chloe's biological mother. Outside of this house, she was a business titan, worth billions, the elusive CEO of the Bennett Group. When she looked up, her eyes were luminous, focused, and piercing. Without saying a word, she became the center of attention. I looked over at the camera. Thankfully, the livestream had been shut off. The next second, Chloe's baby voice cut through the silence. "What are you doing here?" Lauren stood up slowly. Her voice was low, warm, and magnetic. "I heard you were going to ask my husband to replace me. Can't I come in yet?" As soon as the words left her mouth, the entire room fell silent. Guests and staff exchanged glances. All of them instantly recognized who had just arrived. Chloe's mother. "My dear daughter," Lauren Bennett said calmly as she stepped inside. "Your mother is here to discipline you." Unfazed, Chloe stood her ground. As stubborn as ever, she reached out, took Ava Reynolds's hand, and pulled her forward as if presenting a trophy. "Perfect timing. Let me introduce you. This is the new wife I found for your husband, my new mom." Lauren's gaze turned cold. Her voice was low and heavy with warning. "Chloe Brooks, have I ever let you get away with things just because you're little?" My heart skipped a beat. She never called Chloe by her full name unless she was angry. Chloe must have realized it too. Her courage vanished. She trembled, eyes wide, and quickly ran into my arms. I picked her up without hesitation. "Let's talk upstairs," I said to Lauren, leading her away from the others. We settled into the quiet of the upstairs living room. Lauren sat on the couch, still composed but clearly simmering. Chloe hid behind me, peeking out, her little face full of fear. "Chloe Brooks," Lauren said sharply, "come here." "You're being mean," Chloe replied, clinging to my shirt. "I'm not going." I stepped in, trying to calm things down. "Hey, sweetheart, she's still young. Don't scare her like that. She's just a kid." Lauren sighed and looked at me. The tension in her shoulders eased a little, and her voice softened as she turned back to Chloe. "Then tell me, why do you want to change your mom?" Chloe bit her lip and answered honestly. "Because you're not a good mom. You hardly ever come home. You only show up a few times a month. You don't spend time with me or Dad. It feels like you don't love us at all." The room grew quiet. Lauren didn't speak right away. Her face didn't change much, but I could see guilt flicker in her eyes. After a moment of silence, she finally said, "So if you can change your dad's wife without asking me, then I can change something too, right? Maybe I'll secretly change your dad and surprise you instead." She raised an eyebrow slightly. "But this surprise? It's a bit too much. I think you should return it." Chloe poked her head out from behind my leg, her voice small and curious. "Then what kind of surprise do you want?" Lauren curled her finger playfully, inviting her over. To our surprise, Chloe didn't hesitate this time. She walked forward, her small steps cautious but determined. Lauren picked her up and gently placed her on her lap. "Mom knows she made a mistake," she said softly. "Starting today, I'll spend more time with you and your dad. I'll try harder to be a good mom. Chloe, will you give Mom a second chance?" Chloe blinked, her expression no longer fearful, just thoughtful. "Will you live at home? With me and Dad?" Lauren nodded, her eyes never leaving Chloe's. "Yes, I'll live with you both. I promise." Chloe turned her face away with a small huff, trying to sound tough. "Fine, but just this one chance. Okay? You better not waste it. Because if you do, we'll all leave, and then you'll have to watch SpongeBob SquarePants all by yourself." Lauren laughed, a warm and genuine laugh this time. "Then you'll watch SpongeBob with me?" Chloe rubbed her hands together shyly. "Yeah, because sometimes when you come home, I see you hiding out on the balcony, secretly watching it. It looks kinda lonely, so I watch it with you. Besides, SpongeBob says Squidward is his best friend, and I want to be your best friend too." I glanced at Lauren. She brushed her hair back awkwardly, trying to mask the emotion on her face. For a brief moment, a bittersweet smile appeared. then softened into something warmer. You already are Mom's best friend. No matter what happens, Mom will always be here with you. She pulled Chloe close and kissed her cheek. Chloe puffed up her cheeks proudly, tilted her chin, and finally, just to remind us who was still in charge, planted a kiss on Lauren's cheek, pretending she didn't want to. Seeing the mother and daughter reconcile, I couldn't help but smile. Chloe never truly hated her mother. She just longed for more of her time, for her to stay close, to shower her with love. Lauren Bennett, perhaps sensing that unspoken wish, brought along a small peace offering, Chloe's favorite chocolate. Wow, chocolate, Chloe gasped with delight. Mom, can you open it for me, please? Of course, Lauren replied gently, unwrapping it for her. Chloe's face lit up, the pure joy of a child glowing in her smile. Just then, there was a knock at the door. I assumed it was someone from the production crew, but when I opened it, I was surprised to find Ava Reynolds standing there. Ava? I asked, confused. Is something wrong? Her expression was complicated, her body tense with hesitation. Ethan Brooks, do you need me to step in? She asked cautiously. She's still just a child, don't hit her. It took me a second to realize what she was implying. I shook my head quickly. No, Chloe's mother didn't hit her. At that moment, Lauren came over, holding Chloe by the hand. Chloe, still munching on chocolate, looked up at Ava. Aunt Ava, don't worry, my mom didn't hit me. But, you can't be my new mom. I'm sorry, Tilda. Lauren didn't say a word. Calmly, she reached out and took my arm. Ava's eyes dropped, her lashes fluttering downward as if to hide something. She offered a faint smile. It's okay, I won't bother you anymore. And with that, she turned and walked away, her figure tinged with a quiet loneliness. After Ava left, Chloe looked up at her mother with a sweet sort of innocence. Mom, I need to poop. Can you come with me and cheer me on? Lauren blinked in disbelief. Mom really doesn't want to go. Chloe shrugged, all nonchalance. It's fine, I was just joking. I burst out laughing. The kid was clearly just messing with her mom. Lauren turned to me, her gaze lingering, deep and probing. Your ex-girlfriend still has feelings for you? I froze, caught off guard. No, I think she just wanted to make Chloe happy. But Lauren leaned in then, her eyes sparkling mischievously. But I think she does, Tilda. Lauren Bennett is stunning, sharp and elegant, with those fox-like eyes that shimmer with mischief. When she doesn't smile, she looks distant, untouchable, but up close, she's magnetic. At that moment, as she leaned in, every feature was magnified, and I could feel myself weakening. My heart beat wildly. I swallowed hard. Even if she does, I murmured, there's nothing I can do about it. She tilted her head, her voice soft but deliberate. So, Mr. Brooks, could you keep a little distance from her? Just to give me a bit of security. The lilt in her voice, the playful hook at the end, it stirred something in me. I felt it deep in my chest. I wasn't born into wealth. I'm the adopted son of the Thompson family. They took me in when I was 8 years old, and they treated me like their own. I was lucky in that sense. But 5 years ago, everything changed. My father suffered a stroke just as his company was collapsing. My mother and I sought help from friends, from anyone who might care. No one came. I remember standing in front of the hospital's billing office, begging them to delay my father's fees. We couldn't afford it. The hospital was helpless. We were out of options. That's when Lauren Bennett appeared. She stood before me, her voice clear and confident, cutting through the despair like sunlight after a storm. I can help you. I need help in an emergency. I urgently need a husband now. Are you interested? That was the second time I saw her. The first was at a birthday party. She was the center of attention, top-notch looks, an impeccable figure, and a captivating presence. Her beauty was both striking and aloof. Yet it didn't clash, instead, it intrigued. She seemed to sense my gaze and looked directly at me from across the room. That single glance lingered, leaving a lasting impression. Though Lauren Bennett and I married hastily, our life together was harmonious. We respected each other's careers and rarely argued. I honored her choices, and she understood mine. Over time, I grew accustomed to her presence and, unknowingly, fell in love with her. Then came the night I drank too much and lost my temper. That's when Chloe happened. During her pregnancy, Lauren often seemed melancholic, frequently sitting alone in contemplation. Once, I found her crying on the balcony. When I approached, she pulled away, refusing to answer my questions. After giving birth, she visited less often. Each time she returned, her first priority was Chloe's health checkups. She'd bring small cakes, snacks, and delicate gifts that Chloe adored, claiming she bought them on a whim. She never missed any of Chloe's significant moments. I believed she cared deeply for our child, but I remained uncertain about her feelings for me. She never expressed love, and I, unsure of her emotions, kept mine hidden. I looked at Lauren and teased, "Lauren Bennett, are you possessed? That's not something you'd usually say." Her enchanting eyes narrowed playfully. "What can I say? My husband and child are quite the catch. I can't help but feel a bit territorial." I chuckled, feeling insecure. "Are we? Then give me a reason not to be," she replied. Without warning, Lauren leaned in, standing on tiptoe, and pressed her lips to mine. Surprised, I widened my eyes, my breath catching. After a few moments, we parted, only to hear a small voice nearby. "Oh, the lady online was right. Mouths aren't just for eating, they're for kissing too." Embarrassed, my face turned crimson. Lauren, unfazed, responded, "You're growing up, sweetheart. Next time, maybe give your parents a little privacy." Chloe pouted. "Are you saying you don't want me around?" "Not at all," Lauren assured her. With a huff, Chloe asked, "Then will you play Lego with me now?" Her assertiveness was endearing. Lauren didn't hesitate and joined her. Later, Lauren arranged a lavish dinner for the entire production team. Since there was no live broadcast that evening, I retrieved my phone and checked the trending topics online. The hot search entries about Ava Reynolds and me had all disappeared. Right now, Star Baby was trending everywhere, and Chloe had become an online sensation. Some viewers had taken clips of her silly, adorable moments from the live broadcast and turned them into viral videos that flooded major websites. Her face was on every homepage, accompanied by push notifications shouting, "Chloe is unbelievably cute. It's just not fair. I have to have a kid like this someday. I'm so jealous of Ethan Brooks. I want to kidnap his daughter." Lauren Bennett didn't leave that night. She lay on the bed with Chloe. The two of them, one grown, one little, watching SpongeBob SquarePants. When the theme song played, Chloe got so excited she sang along. Though her musical talent was questionable at best, even Lauren couldn't hold back a teasing complaint. "Other people's singing sounds heavenly. But yours? It's torture." Chloe immediately scowled, saying with a mock-offended tone, "How presumptuous of you, Tilda." I couldn't help but laugh out loud. But the next day during the show's recording, laughter was impossible. Because of Lauren, the production team refused to put cameras in the live broadcast room. That morning, they knocked on our door, calling us to shoot the program. We spent the morning at the zoo with the crew for the live segment. But in the afternoon, they dropped a bomb. They wanted parents and kids to sing together as the show's promotional theme. I was completely stunned. Chloe and I were both tone deaf. I've never been able to sing, and people usually pay to avoid hearing me. Singing felt like a death sentence. I was bracing myself for a wave of ridicule. But to my surprise, Chloe was thrilled and insisted on singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. Her idea was to sing one line. Then I'd shout the next, just like the characters. "Chloe, Daddy needs to talk to you. How about we just don't sing? Let's both give it a pass," I said, hoping to avoid the disaster. But her eyes sparkled mischievously as she pulled a recorder from somewhere and said, "Then I'll just play the recorder." I was speechless. "Chloe, has Daddy ever hit you before?" Before she could answer, director Andrew Clark cut in. "This isn't a game. You can't skip it. Every guest group has to sing. It felt like the sky was collapsing on me. After years in the industry, I'd done nothing but get criticized for playing the ruthless male roles. I'd never had bad press, until now, when I was about to butcher a kid's theme song live on camera. Chloe dragged me into the studio, my face full of resistance. The audience in the live broadcast room burst into laughter the moment they saw me. Look at Ethan Brooks. He looks like he's about to die. Ethan's expression is priceless. Does he even know how to sing? Can't wait to see Chloe on the recorder. She's a true Bikini Bottom fan. The production team brought in a professional music teacher to coach us. But after hearing us try once, she said, "Little girl, why don't you just play the recorder?" The hot search entries about Ava Reynolds and me had all disappeared. Right now, Star Baby was trending everywhere, and Chloe had become an online sensation. Some viewers had taken clips of her silly, adorable moments from the live broadcast and turned them into viral videos that flooded major websites. Her face was on every homepage, accompanied by push notifications shouting, "Chloe is unbelievably cute. It's just not fair. I have to have a kid like this someday. I'm so jealous of Ethan Brooks. I want to kidnap his daughter." Lauren Bennett didn't leave that night. She lay on the bed with Chloe. The two of them, one grown, one little, watching SpongeBob SquarePants. When the theme song played, Chloe got so excited she sang along. Though her musical talent was questionable at best, even Lauren couldn't hold back a teasing complaint. "Other people's singing sounds heavenly. But yours? It's torture." Chloe immediately scowled, saying with a mock-offended tone, "How presumptuous of you, Tilda." I couldn't help but laugh out loud. But the next day during the show's recording, laughter was impossible. Because of Lauren, the production team refused to put cameras in the live broadcast room. That morning, they knocked on our door, calling us to shoot the program. We spent the morning at the zoo with the crew for the live segment. But in the afternoon, they dropped a bomb. They wanted parents and kids to sing together as the show's promotional theme. I was completely stunned. Chloe and I were both tone deaf. I've never been able to sing, and people usually pay to avoid hearing me. Singing felt like a death sentence. I was bracing myself for a wave of ridicule. But to my surprise, Chloe was thrilled and insisted on singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. Her idea was to sing one line. Then I'd shout the next. Just like the characters. "Chloe, Daddy needs to talk to you. How about we just don't sing? Let's both give it a pass," I said, hoping to avoid the disaster. But her eyes sparkled mischievously as she pulled a recorder from somewhere and said, "Then I'll just play the recorder." I was speechless. "Chloe, has Daddy ever hit you before?" Before she could answer, director Andrew Clark cut in. "This isn't a game. You can't skip it. Every guest group has to sing." It felt like the sky was collapsing on me. After years in the industry, I'd done nothing but get criticized for playing the ruthless male roles. I'd never had bad press, until now, when I was about to butcher a kid's theme song live on camera. Chloe dragged me into the studio, my face full of resistance. The audience in the live broadcast room burst into laughter the moment they saw me. Look at Ethan Brooks. He looks like he's about to die. Ethan's expression is priceless. Does he even know how to sing? Can't wait to see Chloe on the recorder. She's a true Bikini Bottom fan. The production team brought in a professional music teacher to coach us. But after hearing us try once, she said, "Little girl, why don't you just play the recorder?" That evening, the three of us went to a well-known restaurant. As soon as we walked in, a diner recognized us and started snapping photos with his phone. Lauren Bennett's identity was priceless. Her personal information and photos were tightly controlled by the Bennett Group's top PR team. Any mention of Lauren online vanished within seconds. The moment the system detected her face in any photo, it was immediately deleted. Just to be safe, Lauren's assistant, Ryan Cooper, stepped in to handle the diner who was taking pictures. Chloe confidently ordered crayfish, grilled fish, and spicy blood tofu. She and I shared the same taste. We both loved spicy food. But Lauren preferred milder dishes, so she ordered a few non-spicy plates. When the crayfish arrived, Chloe dug in with delight. After a while, she suddenly looked up and asked, "Dad, if the crayfish can't go home, will its dad worry about it?" I was caught off guard. "Chloe, you've eaten so much already. Why are you suddenly asking such a thoughtful question? How am I supposed to answer that?" Lauren smiled softly and said, "No, because its whole family is here." Chloe breathed a sigh of relief and said, "Then I'm glad. Families should stay together and be tidy." Sometimes, I felt like I wasn't quite quirky enough to fit in with these two, mother and daughter. During that time, Lauren didn't go out much. She spent her days at the company and occasionally worked upstairs in the study. Chloe grew more attached to her every day. After school, the first thing she'd ask was, "Is Mom home?" One afternoon, after Chloe left for school, I heard a strange noise coming from the study upstairs. It was loud enough to catch my attention. So I went upstairs, stood outside the study door, and called out cautiously, "Honey, are you okay?" But before I could hear a response, there was another noise from inside. A bad feeling washed over me. I pushed open the door and found Lauren fainted on the floor. My heart skipped a beat, and I rushed over. "Lauren," I called her name twice, but she didn't respond. I carefully lifted her up, hurried downstairs, and told the family driver to rush us to the hospital. Just as we reached the door, Lauren's assistant, Ryan Cooper, appeared with some documents. He looked tense and immediately said, "I'm going to find Professor Stephen Hayes." I hesitated, suspicion creeping in. I opened my mouth to ask him something, but stopped myself. When we arrived at Professor Stephen Hayes's hospital, Lauren was immediately rushed into the operating room. That's when I finally understood the full story. The Bennett Group wasn't just involved in real estate, hotels, and finance, it also owned the country's largest pharmaceutical company. Years ago, Lauren's father, Charles Bennett, had exposed a company producing and selling counterfeit drugs, which led to brutal retaliation. When Lauren was just 7, she was kidnapped by that company's henchmen and force-fed a large amount of fake medication right in front of Charles. Though she was rescued and quickly given stomach pumping, the damage to her brain was severe. The toxic drugs had damaged her nerves, causing frequent, unbearable headaches and fainting spells. "Sir," Ryan Cooper said quietly, "you've been married to Lauren for years. But the reason she often stays away is because she doesn't want to scare you or Chloe when the headaches hit. The truth is, she loves you both deeply. She pushes herself to finish her work, then takes painkillers just so she can come home and be with you. She's also very worried the illness might be hereditary, so she takes Chloe for regular checkups every few months. Lauren only feels relief after each visit confirms Chloe is healthy." Hearing this, my heart tightened, and I struggled to keep calm. So that was why Lauren often stayed away. I remained silent, feeling my throat close up and my chest tighten as if gripped by an invisible hand. Suddenly, a sharp pain pierced through me, like needles jabbing into my heart, and the image of Lauren sitting quietly in the corner kept flashing in my mind. Noticing my pale face, Ryan hurried to reassure me. "But don't worry, Professor Stephen Hayes is an expert in neurological surgery. He has thoroughly examined Lauren's condition and developed a surgical plan. I didn't tell you before because I didn't want to cause you stress. The surgery was originally scheduled for next month while you're filming your new movie. But now that you know everything, the doctor advises doing it as soon as possible to minimize the damage. What do you think?" "Don't worry, Professor Hayes will perform the operation personally, and everything will be fine." I nodded, my voice hoarse. "Okay." Hours later, Lauren was wheeled out of the operating room, still unconscious. When I was told the surgery had been a success, a heavy weight lifted from my chest. Her parents, Patricia and Charles Bennett, rushed to the hospital as soon as they heard the news. Patricia spoke gently to me. "Ethan, please don't tell Chloe what happened yet. If she asks, just say her mom is on a business trip and will be back soon. I'll stay with Chloe here at the hospital for the next few days. You can come by while Chloe is at school." I nodded silently. Afterwards, I stayed at the hospital for a while before driving to pick up Chloe from kindergarten. The moment we got home, Chloe immediately looked for her mother. When she couldn't find her, she turned to me with worried eyes. I gently explained, Mom has some important work and will be away on a business trip for a few days. But Mom said she would come back to accompany us as soon as she was done. Let's just wait at home for a few days. Okay? Although Chloe is sometimes naughty, she is also very sensible. She nodded. Okay, then we'll wait for Mom at home. I rubbed Chloe's furry head and praised. Yeah, Chloe is so well behaved. At night, I tossed and turned, and the scenes of my time with Lauren Bennett over the years flashed through my mind. When she and I stood at the door of the Civil Affairs Bureau, she asked me, "Have you made up your mind?" I asked her in return, "What about you? Have you made up your mind?" She said, "I have made up my mind. But I'm afraid you will regret it. I may not agree to divorce then." I said, "We haven't gotten married yet. How do you know I will regret it?" In the bridal chamber, she frowned slightly and looked at me with a sad face. She said, "I often don't go home. I hope you can understand me." I teased her, "As long as you don't treat your home as a hotel and have another home outside, it'll be fine." She smiled and said, "One home is enough." On the bed in the bedroom, she and I slept in each other's arms. I told her, "Lauren Bennett, I got an opportunity and I want to audition." She said, "I support you in whatever you want to do." I said again, "But my ex-girlfriend is here too. Do you still want me to go?" She pouted and said, "I don't support you so much now." I smiled and said, "Women are fickle." She rushed over and pressed me down, saying fiercely, "Mr. Brooks, you told your wife's ex-girlfriend and thought about how your wife would react. Now think about it. My previous views of her were all wrong." Lauren Bennett was unconscious for 2 days before she woke up. I sat in the ward and spent 2 days as a wife watching Stone. When I was lying on the bed in a daze, I felt a hand fall on my face. When I opened my eyes, I saw Lauren Bennett's slightly pale but overly beautiful face. At this moment, I was completely relieved. "When did you wake up?" Her voice was soft. "How did you feel just now? Did you have a headache?" She shook her head and said it didn't hurt anymore. I rang the bell to call Professor Stephen Hayes and the nurse, and gave her a detailed examination. The final data were all good. After that, Lauren Bennett stayed in the hospital for a few more days. After confirming that there was no problem, she was discharged from the hospital. After returning home, I asked Lauren Bennett to lie on the bed and rest first. As a result, she held my hand, and her pair of beautiful fox eyes looked at me without blinking. Ethan Brooks, in fact, I had a dream when I was unconscious. I raised my eyebrows and asked her what dream it was. She blinked and said, "I dreamed that you confessed to me and said that you liked me and missed me very much." I was stunned for a moment, and my heartbeat couldn't help but speed up a few points, as if what I was thinking was guessed, especially that she was looking straight at me. "Is that so?" She nodded, her eyelashes drooping slightly, and said, "But in reality, you have never said such words to me." I don't know if it was just my imagination, but I seemed to hear a trace of loss and grievance in her words. The next second, I blurted out without thinking, "Do you want to listen?" She hooked her finger at me. I went over and heard her whisper in my ear, "I want to listen, but I want to hear it from the heart." My heart beat faster. Those words stuck in my throat as if they would come out the moment I opened my mouth. So, I stopped hiding my feelings. "Lauren Bennett, I like you." She looked at me, her moist eyes shining brightly, and said, "Lauren Bennett likes Ethan Brooks, too." The next second, I leaned in and kissed her gently. One day, Lauren and I came out of the bathroom and ran into Chloe, who had just returned from school. She looked at me, then at her mother, her little head full of questions. "Did you two just take a shower together?" Lauren and I exchanged confused glances. Hint: your dad and mom refused to answer you. Lauren looked at Chloe calmly, neither blushing nor flustered. After school, Chloe was successfully distracted and said in a baby voice, "Yeah, I'm back. Today." The fat kid at school bragged that his mom gave him a little sister, and it made me so jealous. Lauren smiled. "Don't be jealous. You'll have one too." Chloe's eyes lit up. "Mom, can you give me a sister too?" Lauren said slowly, "Yes, but next time you enter mom and dad's room, remember to knock first." Chloe was so happy she exclaimed, "Okay, I'll definitely do that next time." That evening, Ava Reynolds suddenly called me. "Ava Reynolds, Is there something you want to talk to me about? Lauren sat beside me as I calmly put the call on speakerphone. The voice on the other end said, Ethan Brooks, here's the thing. The role in Floating Ashes, directed by Chris Stone, fits you perfectly. I'm wondering if you're available to take it. I was stunned. What role? Is it a villain? Ava replied. No, it's the male lead. I immediately refused. Forget it. I prefer playing villains. Ava was helpless. Why do you only want to play villain roles? I answered. Don't you think villains are the most promising roles? Every drama needs an indispensable villain. It's the most stable and in-demand role. Besides, playing a villain well is not easy. Each villain I create is unique with a distinct personality, which is very challenging. Just like Mike Sullivan from last season's popular drama, that role was amazing. Ava fell silent for a moment. Just as I was about to hang up, she spoke again. Ethan Brooks, did you marry her because you like her or? At that moment, I felt the temperature beside me drop. I turned to see Lauren's eyes flashing a cold glint. I said, I like her. We married first, then fell in love. Chloe said that because she had a fight with her mother. Ava, thanks anyway, and I hope you find your other half soon. Ava replied, okay, then I won't bother you. After hanging up, I looked at Lauren. Her face was still cold. I poked her and said, You're not satisfied with what I said? She said nothing. I pretended to turn on my phone. Then I'll call her now and tell her everything I said was a lie. Actually, when Lauren heard this, she reached out and pinched my arm. Was she deliberately trying to irritate me? I didn't say anything because I was dissatisfied. What should I do to make you happy? The next second, I hugged her little head and whispered in her ear, Lauren Bennett, I love you. She smiled and said, if you have the guts, post that on Twitter. Lauren kissed me tightly, and every word fell clearly. Ethan, I love you too. Here's your polished version with clear, natural American English punctuation and flow, keeping your original structure and emotional tone. The next day, Ethan Brooks posted on his official Twitter, My wife is so beautiful, attaching a photo of me in his arms. Although her face wasn't visible, the whole internet was buzzing. Netizens commented, if you have the guts, post a photo of her face. He replied, My wife is so beautiful that only I can see it.